So, Brett, what are some of the best tips or common mistakes to avoid when trying to find quality suppliers on Alibaba.com?
All right. So my number one tip is to try to work with trade assurance suppliers as much as possible, especially for your first order. With trade assurance, Alibaba holds onto the money as a third party during the transaction to ensure the supplier fulfills the order on time, and it's to the agreed product quality as written in the order contract. So once you build that trust and relationship with the supplier, after a few orders, we also have another payment option, which is called direct pay. So you could switch over to direct pay, which is different from trade assurance. These orders don't have trade assurance protection, so Alibaba wouldn't be able to intervene if there's an issue. But with direct pay orders, the money is passed directly to the supplier immediately. So after you build this relationship with the supplier, you can pay them through direct pay. They get the money immediately, and then the sellers possibly wouldn't have to finance the order as they previously did. But try to go through trade assurance as much as possible to build these relationships, so there's confidence as a buyer that you're not working with a seller who won't be committed to your order. Another great thing about trade assurance is because the seller commits to the trade assurance order, and the commitment is to ensure on-time production and product quality. It basically helps you avoid having suppliers come back and get your orders delayed and have the procurement process prolonged. They make a commitment to your order, to both you as the buyer and to Alibaba as the third party. So they'll prioritize your order to make sure you as the buyer is happy and they have a good status on the Alibaba platform. So some other tips are definitely check out the seller's profile to better understand the company. So if you're looking for a product, you're on the product page. As Teresa mentioned earlier, there's lots of great supplier tags and different information, so you can see the product certifications or the company certifications. I would suggest to you would, on the product page on the right side, you'll be able to click on the company and it'll take you over to the company's page. Check out their whole product breadth, what they're selling. If they're a manufacturer or manufacturer/trading company, they're probably going to have a really specific product focus, especially for the manufacturers/trading companies. They'll have a specific product focus, and they may have some related product categories that basically buyers often buy these two products together, so they're the one-stop shop. And if they're a trading company, they'll probably have a wider breadth of products. So it gives you a good ability to check out what the company offers, and then you can go over to their profile page. If they're a gold supplier, they'll just have their basic business information verified. You'll see a little check mark next to the verified information. If they're a verified supplier, they'll have a lot more information verified, and it gives you a really good snapshot of who the company is, what they do. I would also check out supplier reviews. There's lots of supplier reviews left by other buyers. You can see what they're saying, what products they're reviewing, their comments on the service of the company. You can also ask for customer references. You should always consider other factors besides the costs and order samples to check quality, as we discussed earlier. For large orders, definitely utilize inspection services. So SGS and some of these other inspection companies, they help us with verifying supplier information, and then they also provide order inspection service. So tell your supplier you're going to perform inspections at key points of production, so it keeps them on their feet, and it allows you to catch any issues before an order leaves the factory. So even with trade assurance, if something goes wrong, the product gets to you and Alibaba is able to help out, that as a buyer for me is a last resort, because you lose all this time, and time is money. So if you utilize inspection services, if there is an issue, whether the production ended up shorting you, or they did a wrong color matching or something, you're able to catch it before it leaves the factory, save a lot of time and hassle. Another thing, confirm your trade terms. So you can confirm who's responsible for shipping, for customs clearance, and you can plan. Um, I would also work with suppliers that are familiar with your market. I'll always do research by yourself to make sure you know what product certifications you need, what the like compliancy needs are for your domestic market to sell to domestic consumers or whoever you sell to. But if you work with suppliers who are already selling to buyers in your market who are familiar with those requirements, it makes things a lot easier. They may be able to help you out. Um, Another thing, you can check out Alibaba Freight to compare prices for sea freight. So you can always ask your supplier to give you a quote for sea freight, but you can also utilize Alibaba Freight to see what the costs are to ship via the platform. Or if you work with a freight forwarder by yourself, you can compare those costs so you can know you're getting the best deal. And then finally, I would say work with suppliers to make sure things are packaged properly for international shipping. So suppliers, as default, they use the cheapest packaging available. So consider this in your planning. You know, sometimes the cheapest packaging is fine. But if you have products that are easily damaged, or you have like packaging, paper box packaging, the ends could be crushed, then you may want to go with double walled boxes. So speak with your supplier about, you know, how things are shipped, what you're expecting when you receive it, to make sure that everything's packaged properly and they're using the right boxes.